Van Helsing's Journal, August 8th. I received a letter today detailing a situation regarding an out-of-control golem wreaking havoc in Japan. Golems are artificially created creatures who are forced to obey the commands of humans. While they are not intrinsically violent, they can become so if ordered, which seems to be the situation here. This golem was built by a Japanese man named Tadashi Hamada, and was originally meant to help his community. However, one day, a dark warlock broke into Tadashi's workplace to steal a mystical artifact. Tadashi stood his ground, but was no match for the warlock. The golem then went to Tadashi's brother, Hiro Hamada, who had a much less peaceful attitude, to say. He wanted revenge against the man who had killed his brother, and, using the golem, was able to track him down. After cornering him, he gave the golem one simple order: destroy. The golem quickly killed the warlock, but did not stop there. It then turned around and killed Hiro. After that, it proceeded to destroy its entire village, leaving no man, woman, or child alive. Ever since, the golem has been going to village, destroying all in its path. It's now time for me to hunt it down. Hello and welcome back, our guests. My name is, as I have made sure to remind you, my name is classified. For some reason, out of all of this, my name is the one thing that we've classified. Whatever. Anyway, recently, I had to deal with a rather peculiar mech armor incident. Recently, we've been tracking the actions of a group of mech armor-wearing French terrorists led by some bloke who calls himself the Beast. However, these mech armors are very much unlike any I've seen before. See, during their early days of criminal work, they got into a fight with that weird blue guy. Universal Man. He apparently sought to punish them by casting this weird curse that apparently trapped them within their armors forever. I don't exactly see how that helps. But anyway, a few months ago, the French terrorists kidnapped some wealthy French woman named Belle to hold hostage for ransom. Since they were wearing mech armors, it was our job to go take care of the situation. My team and I quickly flew in using our own mech suits and began to break into the fortress. I, actually, was the first one to get to Belle, intent on rescuing her. However, when I finally reached her, she had her own blue and white mech armor and began shooting at me. Turns out, the whole kidnapping thing was a ruse. And she and the Beast had actually been dating for the past year, and were using the whole kidnapping thing as an excuse to elope. Unfortunately, I only figured this out once my suit was riddled with holes and chucked off a cliff. Unfortunately, I survived. Super X here, ready to regale you with more tales of my cosmic journeys. During my time traveling the vast cosmos with the Octonians, I came across many, let's just say, not-so-friendly alien species. One of the most ferocious creatures I've ever had to fight were the xenomorphs. These are weird, anthropod-like aliens that like to inject their eggs into any host they can get their facehuggers on. The egg then adapts to host genetic code, and the alien becomes some sort of hybrid between the two. The first of these hybrid creatures I ever encountered, had busted out of the chest of a swamp ogre on the moon of Dreamworks. These swamp ogres are sentient green humanoids who, for some reason, all sound like Scottish Austin Powers. They also release a foul-smelling gas that can kill most things that encounter it. Now imagine this, but with a bladed tail and a thirst for blood. Well, you'd be describing the monster I now had to face. When I was called in to fight the Xeno version, it tried to blast its foul gas at me, but luckily I had taken the liberty of absorbing the powers of a swamp ogre before the fight, so I was essentially immune. It quickly realized this and swung its bladed tail at me. However, I was able to grab its tail and tear it off of its body, avoiding the acid blood, of course. Then I used the tail and quickly stabbed the creature through the chest, and went on my way. Ever since I got my hands on the fusion piece, I've been experimenting more and more, opening my eyes to the infinite possibilities of what this artifact can do. The fusion piece is an ancient artifact that has the ability to combine any two objects or entities into one unified form. However, a more recent development I have discovered is the piece's ability to fuse entire timelines. I, on a whim, used the piece's ability to fuse two universes together, simply to see what would occur. Surprisingly, the fusion worked much better than I had expected. However, with more and more attempted fusions, I began to discover that the more differences there were between universes, the less likely the fusion would naturally accept each other. So I began looking for more similar universes to combine. Eventually, I'd come to find two universes that were similar enough to fuse together. In both universes, mere mortal children had gained the ability to train and control powerful, if not adorable, monsters to their will, often forcing them to fight one another in battle. I have respect. One of my favorite fusions from this universe, and the one I started training when I visited this universe, was a creature called Palosaur. It was a fusion between two plant-like creatures called Palamon and Bulbasaur. I hoped to train this admittedly adorable creature and force its rapid metamorphosis. Both creatures were fairly basic within their own timelines, but with time, training, and my abilities, can grow to become much, much more. Now, let's see what I can fuse next.